period. I'm here to give you the crash course on Photoshop. That means it's for the beginners. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to make sure when you walk away from this, you walk away knowing something, you've designed something, and you're ready to move on to the next thing. You get me? Alright, so if you don't have Photoshop already, head over to Adobe, grab the trial, grab the subscription, grab something because you're going to need it. Alright? Now, when your Photoshop opens, it won't look like mine. Alright? But that's okay. Because if you want it to look like mine, first and foremost, head over to Preferences, Interface. Okay? Mine is this gray right here. Select whichever one you want. That's just way too bright for me. I like it right here. But before you hit OK, hit Tools and make sure you have Over Scroll selected. Trust me, you're going to need it. Alright? Hit OK. Now, when you open Photoshop, yours may look something like this. Alright? Now, I like everything tailored to what I use. And that's just how I move. Alright? Now, if you want yours to look like mine, and mine is this one right here, and I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So now me, I like my history at the top, my actions, which you'll learn at a later date, my character, this is how I get my fonts, my sizing, my paragraph settings. I really don't even use it, I just like it there. My glyphs, my layers. Alright, so if you like yours like this, come up here to the menu tab, not the tab, but the menu bar, hit window, select history, it'll pop up. Alright, action, it'll pop up. Alright, character, pop up. Paragraph, it'll pop up. Glyphs, pop up. Layers, pop up. Once you have them all up, head right back here, go to workspace, new workspace, type in whatever you want to call it and save it. I'm not going to save because I already have mine saved. Don't even worry about this. Alright? Boom. So next time you open Photoshop, you'll be set up. Now, for me, because Photoshop is not just for graphic designers, you have digital painters that use it, you have photographers. I like to show you how to use it by you actually doing something. So that's why you're going to learn how to design a wallpaper for your phone. Alright? Because a lot of these tools you probably won't even use. And if you do, it probably won't be no time soon. So me going through these tools will not only bore you, but it'll bore me. Now, if you want to spend your time going through them, trust me, you can. And each tool has a description of how to use it and a shortcut. I am the shortcut queen. I use shortcuts most of the time. Alright, so as we're going through this course, I'm going to explain what the tool we're using does, and you'll be able to see how it works, so when you're doing things on your own, you're already fluent. Alright, but the very first thing we're going to start with is how to open a file. Alright, so go up here to File and New. Yours may not look like this because I'll be having a lot going on. Alright? But that's okay. Don't worry about this. Yours might look like this. I don't know. Alright? This right here is your business. This is where we at. Right here. Okay? This is your dimensions. As graphic designers, we work a lot in pixels and inches. I do product design as well, so sometimes I get into the centimeters and millimeters, but that's none of our business right now. I'm really never into points or none of this. Alright, so first things first, let's change it to pixels. Alright, you see that just changed what the width and the height is, which is cool. But since it's for a wallpaper for a phone, we're going from landscape to portrait. Make sure portrait is selected. Don't worry about the artboards. That's none of your business right now. I got you. It's not that. That is above our pay grade right now. Alright. Wallpaper size. For the width, we're doing 1284. For the height, we're doing 2778. Alright. Resolution. 9 times out of 10, I'm always in 300. 300 is a high resolution. I won't say the highest, but 300. Sometimes you're messing around with 72 if it's some sort of print, you know what I'm saying? But most of the time, I'm in 300. If you're doing print, printers read CMYK, but some of them, depending on your print partner, they are, RGB. Mine is RGB, so I be chilling, all right? So your background contents, that's the very first layer that pops up as soon as you hit create. Mine, I keep at white because if I don't change the color, more than likely I'm gonna just delete it, anyway. All right, you can pick black, you can pick whatever you want. Me, it's pointless because you're going to change it. All right, and hit create. Boom. Now let me show you what this overscroll does first and foremost. Let's hit layer. All right, we're in our move tool, which is the shortcut V, and we're in the move tool because I need to move this over. Okay, there we go. See, this thing always be trying to give me problems. All right, now you see, boom. Let's say we're right here, right? And we want to move the whole board, not just the layer. You see right now I can't even move the layer because it's locked. Unlock it. Not just the layer, but we want to move the board because this is blocking it. Sometimes you'll have things that pop up that you need, and then it'll be blocking what you're doing. So you need to overscroll. So if you head up to preferences and tools, with your overscroll selected, you can move your board. You can move it. You see? Boom. Easy peasy. Now let's move this back. Alright. Now, first thing, importing an image. Alright? It's real easy. Wherever you have your image at, I just got real hot, y'all. I gotta turn on the fan. Sheesh. Sorry. Bear with me. Alright, so wherever you have your image at, just click it. We're using the main. Now you done downloaded, all this stuff. These are your exercise files. This is what we're using. Click it, drag it over. Alright? Commit. When I say commit, it means hit the check. Now the beautiful thing about Photoshop is, let's say let's say we wanted to use some flames, right? Let's just pick this one. In Photoshop, let's bring this down, bring it over so y'all can see. Alright, all you have to do is drag it and it'll drop right in. If you don't want to drag it, just hit copy, paste it in. Alright, that's the beautiful thing about Photoshop is there's so many ways to import. Alright, now what this means right here is we can't do nothing. That's what that means. So what you want to do is right click and hit rasterize layer. Now we ain't got nothing blocking us. We need to transform this image into a bigger scale. So we're going to hit Command T. Alright, that's transform. Or you can hit edit, free transform. Alright. Now, when you hold down Option, it'll take you from the middle and you'll go all the way up on all sides. Alright, but you want to make sure that this is dark gray. Alright, so we're going to make this big. And you can also resize it right here. Now listen, if you just move it like this, then you still gonna have to move things over. So why not save yourself some time and just hold down, Option. And that's it. But now if you don't have it clicked right here and you hold down Option, this is what it's gonna do. Crazy, right? So just make sure you have it clicked. Hold down Option, bring it up. Now I know you see me going back and forth, making a move, redoing it, undoing it. Alright, now you can hit your history and go back, go forward, or you can hit Command Z to go back. and then just go forward. Now, we need to cut this out. There's a few ways to do it. Now, one, you can use your lasso tool, all right, and just go all around. But I'm not too fond of the lasso tool. I really don't even use it all that much, but you might like it, all right? Now, that is one way. Another way is to use your magic wand, all right? But see, with this, you have to click. Now, yours, when you click it, and then you try to click somewhere else, it's just going to click off. But if you hold shift, you can click and then it'll hold. But who wants to click every single thing? Not me. Not me. All right. Then there's a magic selection tool. Now with this tool, you can use your brackets to go up, brackets to go down, and then you can just go around the whole thing. All right. I mean, that's cool and all, but sometimes I don't want to do that. And since what I'm doing, there's not like, I'm really like standing out from the background, I can hit select, subject. And really, I only need this top part. So let's say I did want to get this little piece right here. What I did just now was zoom in with Command plus. You can zoom in, Command minus, zoom out. All right, come back to the magic wand, hold Option, and click, and then that will take away whatever was added. So let's say if I put this back, right, and then I hold Option, it'll take me back. All right. Now from here, there's a couple ways to take this out of this background. You can right click. Let me open up layers so you can see. Right click, layer via copy. What that does is just creates a copy of what the marching ants was surrounding, you see? But the layer is still fine, all right? Or you can do layer via cut. What that does is cut you out of the image, all right? Or you can hit Command Shift J, all right? That's a shortcut for cutting you out. Or you can hit Command J. That's the copy, all right? So, because I know we're going to keep whatever we're doing, I can just delete this. Now, what you'll notice is there's like a reddish edge. Sometimes when you cut photos out, it'll leave like a white edge. What you want to do is hold down Command. Now listen, and I'm also on a Mac. If you're on Windows, Command is Control, all right? Click on the picture. You want to head up here to select Modify Contrast. Do it at 2, all right? And what that does is bring it in 2 pixels, okay? Command Shift J. Let's just delete that. All right, so now don't worry about the shoes. Like I said, we are only using a portion, so we're fine. All right, so now you just learn how to import an image and also cut it out. Okay, now let's get to the background. Now, the background is white. Your colors are right here. This is your foreground and your background. Let's say you wanted the foreground to be orange. All right, you just hit your swatches and hit orange, or you can come to your color selector and just pick like an orange. And when you want to fill it in, just hit Option, delete. All right. But if you say, oh, okay, well, I want the black on the bottom to actually be what the color is, just hit X, Option, delete, and then it's black. Okay. But for this specifically, now you can do that with any color, but we're going to be, you know, creative. So we're going to use what's called a gradient. And how we use that is we're going to use this eyedropper tool, which is the letter I for the shortcut. And I like to use colors that are actually in the picture. So we're going to pick this dark purple. You see it pop up, but then I want this orange to be a light purple. So I'm going to press X and I'm going to choose a light purple. All right, that's cool. Now, this tool right here is your gradient tool. The shortcut is G. If you click it, right, these up here are different ways that you can apply it. Okay, but I'm going to show you how to do it in just a second. But we're going to click this first one for now. And we're going to go to the top of the file and just go straight down to the bottom. Alright, now you use this way if you know for sure you're not changing nothing at all. Alright, now let me undo it. You can also do that by double clicking. This is your blending options. Hit your gradient overlay. Alright, the great thing about this is whatever's right here will show up first in this panel. And you see how now it's blocking, but I can move my board, you see? Alright, so we're going to hit this. Boom. Hit OK. Now, those same squares that were here are basically here. So there's linear, that's what you have now, light to dark, but you can reverse it dark to light. You have radial, which puts everything in like a circle. You can see it right here. There's an angle, you see? Reflected, and diamond. And you can also change, let me go back to angle because I can show you it. You can also change what the angle is. Alright, but we're going to go back to 90 and we're going to go back to linear. And then we can also make it smaller or bigger, you see? Alright. But now I done forgot which number I was on, so it's cool. Let me go back 90. Okay. Now, I'm not changing it. So another way to commit to the process is to go ahead and hit right click, rasterize layer style. Okay, and we're going to name it BG, and let's name this main. Let's name this top pick. Okay, so now we have that. Now, you know how to create your background. You know how to fill it. You know how to cut an image out. You know how to import an image, which is good because I need you to import the second image. It's your BG JPEG. Drag it in. Now, the way layers work is whatever's on top is seen first. Okay? So if I turn off the eyeball, which makes it visible, you'll see this layer is on top of the background, so it sits on top. Now, since this is a background, first things first, let's go ahead and rasterize layer so we can do things with it. Let's move it underneath the top pick because I want it on top of the background but behind the main layer. Let's hit our Command T for our transform and let's bring it up. Now you see I'm not holding Option this time. Alright, so let's put it about here. Okay, and then let's hit our move tool, which is the V. Alright, or the move tool, and just select what we need to move. Alright, that's cool. Now I know you're like, but what the heck, like that's nothing like what you had showed me in the beginning. And you're right. So what we're going to do is when you want to duplicate a file, you hit Command J, or you can click and drag it down to the plus. Alright, let's just name this top. Now leave that there for one moment. Alright, one moment. Hit your background layer. This is when things get fun. This section right here is your blend modes. Alright, so each section has a line. This top line is normal. This second section, it darkens the file. This third section lightens. This fourth section provides a contrast. This fifth section is if you just happen to want to use it. I don't even use it. And this last section, I really only use luminosity if I use it. But for this particular file, just play with these. You know, like whatever you do, have some fun. I'm going to hit screen because I like how it fades. Alright, and I still want to bring it down some. Alright, so just play with your blend modes. Like it provides some like pretty dope effects if you need it. Alright, so now we're going to click on this top layer because you're probably like, why did you name it top if it's on the bottom? I named it top because we're going to drag it to the top. Alright, and since we're dragging it to the top, it blocks everything now. But it's all good because you can erase. Your eraser tool is the E. All right, use your brackets to bring it up. All right, right click. Make sure your hardness is all the way down. That's going to make it a soft brush. All right, so when you erase, a soft brush makes it look like this. All right, let me back up. When you make it 100% hard, that makes it a hard brush. When you erase, the brush looks like that. All right, but the same thing for if you're just using it as a brush tool. Okay, so if you're using it as a brush tool, soft brush. All right, now by this time they will both be right here. So this is the hard brush. Hard brush. All right, now instead of just erasing, which you can do, that's fine, we're going to actually learn to mask. All right, by clicking this right here and making sure we hit B for brush, or hit this tool right here. Make sure we have our soft brush. What a mask does, it makes us able to edit what it is we're doing, so it's like being in a relationship partially. Eraser makes you committed. With the mask, you can just, let me show you. You can just bless yourself. So let's say the mask, use our brackets to bring it up. You can just do it like this, right? Just go from one side to the other. Or hold down shift, click right here, and then click right here. That'll make it like a straight line. All right, so let's just brush out as far as we can. All right, so now it looks like I'm just sitting on air, but that's okay because we're not committed. So we can hit X, because like as long as this black is on top, it's going to make it go away. Hit the X, the white is on top. Now we can bring it back. Boom. All right, we're going to leave it something like right there. Yeah. All right, cool. So we got that. Now we done got this far. Let's go ahead and save it. All right, save it. I'm going to put don't lose me. All right, on computer. I'm going to make sure it saves as a PSD, Photoshop file. You can save to your clouds. I saved to my hard drive. All right, so now that I have these going, let me go ahead and group them. So if you hit this layer, hold down Command, hit the bottom layer, you can drag it down right here to the envelope, and it'll make it a group. Or you can hit Command G, and that will make it a group. So let's name it BG for background. All right. Now we're moving real fast. We're making excellent time. All right. So we're going to go to the top. This is when we're starting to do our text. So how you import text, because we're not using just basic text in this. So let's head over here to define. Although you have the fonts in your folder, let me show you something very specific. When you hit into the font, yours will look like this. Okay, I want you to hit new font, because like I know you're going to use the font, because this is where everybody goes. Once you hit new fonts, hit more options, because if you don't, if you look right here, it says free for personal use, free for personal use, free for personal use, or donate. You can't just be using stuff if you ain't paid for it. If it says free for personal use, that means you can't do nothing if you didn't pay for it. All right, so just hit 100% free, submit, and look for your fonts that way. That way it's 100% free. All right, now how you download, well, not download, but import the fonts into Photoshop is you find the zip file. It's this one here, the lemon milk and the cast. Double click it. You want to use the OTF or the TTF files. So what I did was I clicked the top one and I held down shift, clicked the bottom one. All right, and I just double clicked. All right, install. I won't do it because I've already done it. You get my drift. All right, so once you have it, first thing, let's go ahead and hit the letter D. What the letter D does is bring this back to black and white. No matter what you're doing, if you hit D, it will take you back to black and white. You're going to hit the T. The T is your text tool. All right. Now, if I type right now, my text will be in black. So let's hit the X to make it white, and let's type in unique. Now, this font right here is crazy. This is not what we're using. All right. So you can either change your font here by hitting the arrow and scrolling, or you can change your font here by hitting the arrow and scrolling, or you can click and start typing in the name. It will pop up, lemon milk. All right. You can resize it here, or you can resize it by hovering and dragging. So we're going to make it something like right there. All right. Now, let's go ahead and type in taught me. All right. Now, this is going to be a totally different font. So where this cursor is, we're going to go ahead and highlight. All right. Go up here. We're using cast. So we know it's QA. All right. There it goes. Now, I need it to be capitalized. So I either from here or from here, just hit these double T's. That will capitalize it. Make it smaller. All right. And the third set of words is Adobe Photoshop. So instead of just typing it right here and having it in cast, I'm going to duplicate unique, Command J, and type in Adobe Photoshop. Now it's way too big, right? So let's bring it down. In the process of bringing it down, you see there's this spacing, right? So what this section does here is it decreases and increases your line spacing. All right, so I want it about right there. What this section does is separates your letters. All right, I'm gonna take it back to 0, but it also goes backwards. All right, but I'm gonna leave it at 0. All right, what this section does is raises the height. Let's put it back to 100, and this one widens it out. Let's put this back to 100. All right, and let's leave that. All right, so boom, we got that so far, but we need to import the Photoshop logo. Head back to your files. Boom. Okay, so let's move this to the top. Hit Taught Me, hold down Shift, hit Unique, Command G, group it, name it Words. All right, and make sure you save. The shortcut for save is Command S. All right, save as you go. What this means, we can't do nothing. Let's right click it, rasterize layer. Now we need this logo to be white. So what we can do is hit our magic wand, the W, hit the blue. We still have this blue here that we need to get. Hold down Shift, click the blue. All right, and the same way we did the picture, we do the logo. Command Shift J, all right, to put it on its own layer, or layer via cut to put it on its own layer. But if you're nervous, layer via copy. All right, and you're good. Hit your blending options. All right, hit color overlay, make it white. Just go to your swatches and hit the white, hit OK. All right, now that's one way to do it. The next way is to just fill it in. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to turn the effects eyeball off. I'm going to hold down Command, click on the logo, fill it with the white. All right, so that's two ways. Boom. Now I'm going to go ahead and commit, rasterize layer style, And I need to make this smaller, but I want it to line up with the Adobe Photoshop. Best way to do that is to make sure your snap is on, all right? And make sure your rulers are out, all right? Drag from the top all the way down to the top of the words. And then grab you one more, drag to the bottom of the words. Zoom in. Hit Command T. All right, let's bring it down. So now, when you bring it down, you're able to line it up with the lines. And to get rid of the lines, go to View, Clear Guides. All right, let's name this PS logo. Drag it down here into the words. Now we're going to put a group within a group. So hold down Command, hit Photoshop, Command G. Let's just put PS. Hit the save. So now, instead of, let's say if I wanted to move this whole group or make it smaller, if you hit the group where it says words, it'll do the whole thing. But with just the PS, it will only do this one. All right, so now what you're seeing now is the purple lines. The purple lines are basically telling you when your layer is centered. Okay, so let's say I want to center Unique. When the line goes all the way up, all the way down, it's centered. If you get stuck there, just come from the right and drag it. It'll snap. And when it snaps, you can just zoom in, line up your dot because it's a dot here with the line. All right, do the same thing with UniqueTaughtMe. UniqueTaughtMe looks like it's already centered, so we good. All right, and then the PS. All right, clear guide. Well, you know what? Yes, let's go ahead and clear it. All right, now let's get into shapes. We're going to create a small basic shape just to go right here. Okay, so with the marquee tool, we're just going to extend and make a rectangle. Now, it didn't create a layer, so it won't fill. Hit the plus for a new layer, fill it in, Option, Delete. All right, now hit your move tool. Let's move it down. Now, if you're just pressing down, it will move at smaller increments. So if you hold down Shift, it'll move greater. All right, let's turn the eyeball off. Another way to create a rectangle is with your shapes tool. There's the rectangle, the circle, the triangle, the polygon, custom. All right, custom, it has like a whole lot of things you can use, but we're just going to use the basic rectangle. All right, so the color right here is white. We're going to leave it white for now and just make our rectangle. All right, now if you wanted to add a stroke to that rectangle, what this red line means is that it's transparent. You can make it any color and just increase the size. All right, but we don't need it. Let's just delete it, bring back what we had. Now you know how to fill and change the color. So let's just Command, hit the red, fill it in. All right, now that line is too thick. So let's get back on our marquee tool with M, make a rectangle, and I'm gonna just cut it just a little bit. That's a little bit too much. Bow. All right, that's too much too. Back it up, boom, that's cool. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Make sure we save. Back to our blending options. All right, now this is going to be more of a text effect, but it'll show you how this thing works. Now, bevel allows you to, let me zoom in. Have some lift, but there's different settings to it. You see? Let me make this like a darker color. So you can see. All right, there's pillow, all this, but that's a whole nother video. What we're messing with is stroke. All right, so now the stroke can be on the outside, on the inside, on the center. We're going to make it on the outside, and let's make it at 8, but the color is going to be white. So you can just use your eye dropper and make it white, or just type in 6Fs. All right, so now I want this part right here to be clear. So if I happen to come up here to the opacity and I bring it all the way down, it'll make everything disappear. Let's bring that back. I really just want my stroke. So what I'm going to do is come down here to the fill, bring that all the way down, and now I have my stroke. All right, let's go up here to UniqueTaughtMe. Double click on the T. Let's change the color. I can pick the yellow because that is what I want, but I'm going to hit my selector, and I'm going to pick the yellow off of the shirt. Hit OK. All right, boom, and there we go. There we go. Now, according to what was designed, we got it, right? But I want to add something else to it. So let's go back down here to our shape tool and create us a rectangle. All right. Now with the rectangle, let's right click, rasterize. Okay. Now I want this at the top and the bottom. So let's hit Command J, Command T. Now you see right here, because the rectangle is off the board, it's going to give me all of that. I don't need all of that. So let's back it up. Let's hit the marquee tool, the M, right here. Click, drag, Command J, Command T, and let's bring it down. Now, you see, you have to keep it straight, all right? But if you hold down Shift, it'll bring you straight down. Boom. And then lock it. Commit. Now these two don't need to be on its own layer, so let's just hit Command and let's join these layers together. Command E. That'll be merging. All right, but I don't want it red. Let's go back to our blending options, color overlay. Now that yellow from the shirt is now the first yellow, so let's just pick it. Boom. Simple, easy. Or do I like the red? You see, and that's why, you know, it's so much better to not commit. All right. Let's get a little bit more jazzy. Let's duplicate this layer, click on the bottom layer, turn off the effects, drop it down, and take it over. Now I know you're like, but the bottom one is gone. That's cool, because we can just hit our marquee tool, Command J, Command T, drop it down with Shift. All right, and put it where you want it. Bow. When you're saving, now make sure you hit Command S because it's saving your PSD. But now when you save, we're going down to Save As. There's Save As and there's Export. Hit Save As. All right, and you can save it as JPEG, PDF, whatever. All right, let's just save this one as a JPEG. Okay. Now, I don't mess with the map. Now, if this is just for drafting, I save mine high. But if it's for a file that I want to use, I'm maximum. But now, if it's for social media or web, I'm going to use the export as. All right, so now what this does is it gives me the options of PNG, JPEG, GIF, however you want to say. All right, I keep it on bicubic automatic. The great thing about this is you can save it in multiple sizes. So this is the regular size. You can hit plus. You can make it half the size smaller. You can hit plus, make it 2 times as big. All right, and you hit export. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save it into a new folder. I'm going to just name it sizes. All right, and it's going to export. Don't worry about none of that. Not yet. Okay, boom. So now, in sizes, you can see it's saved in 3 different sizes. The original, smaller, and then sometimes this one don't want to show nothing. So we're going to right click, open with Photoshop. And if we go up here to image size, pixels, you'll see that the file is way bigger. Alright, so boom, easy and simple. So now you just learned all the Photoshop basics and design the wallpaper all in one. So now the next courses, you just gonna learn more and more and more and more and more, and just know I got you. So when you're doing it and you're doing it well, make sure you tell them Unique taught me.